Droughts are inevitable in Australia, and in drier times, people have to look below the surface to find water, using methods more unorthodox than others.
Walk around with these rods and they start doing funny things, whether they will either cross or part. Now back in WA, they always crossed for me, but funny enough here, they swing that way. So I mark the ground and see if I can, looking at a stream or like a basin of water, but it seems to be streams here, but the science behind it, got no idea. It's intriguing.
Water divining is an age-old practice that many people swear by, despite a lack of scientific explanation.
Mr. Power explains water divining by biological electricity. It's this, he says, which activates the rod. We all have it, but some have more than others.
Even Stephen McAndrew, who divines, doesn't know how it works.
It just doesn't make sense to me, but it seems to work. And yeah, very strange. Don't know. But I've always been able to do it. A lot of people say they can't do it. I disbelieve that. I reckon everyone can do it. They just don't know what they're seeing.
Using two metal rods, those who practice divining wait for sensation or movement from the rods.
Until he's crossed the water and the rod turns back.
Well, I actually get a feeling before they move, like a tingling feeling, and then one will start before the other generally, and then I try and stop them, to be honest, because that's probably my doubt coming in, going, is that me doing it? Yeah, here they go. Oh, if I really grip, it'll keep them straight.
Roman Duvenchak owns a drilling company in Townsville, mainly drilling bores, which are holes in the ground that produce clean water. He also offers divining as a service.
The information that I provide to a potential client it comes down to that this is a good option, and it's much better than 10 metres to the left or to the right.
Roman reckons calibration is the key to good divining.
Just because you pick up a wire and it turns, it doesn't mean that there's water on the ground there for you. Calibrating yourself to underground water as opposed to rare earth minerals, shallow irrigation lines, they're all completely different fields, and they take a large amount of time to hone in on.
Roman's okay with not having all the answers.
Everybody wants to prove or disprove, and it's so easy to discredit and so easy to be negative about. But at the end of the day, having drilled countless bores, it's hard to not believe in it. And those in the industry that do a lot of drilling just will not drill without divining.
But if you're wanting to find water and divining isn't your vibe, there are other options.
There's lots of information available through government websites that can help figure out the types of aquifers that you might have at your property, how deep groundwater might be, and what types of yields you might get. For a hydrogeologist, after we've done these background searches to get an idea of what aquifers might be there, we would typically use geophysics.
With more than 20 years of experience in the hydrogeology industry, Dr. Louisa Rochford has never considered water divining.
I guess as a scientist, you deal more with the physical world, whereas, my understanding of divining is it's more about intuition and energy and those types of things.
She too struggles to explain the practice.
It's almost sort of, that, like Reiki or a practice like that, energy and intuition, those sorts of elements, which is, really quite different from science in a lot of ways. Science really looks at, physical aspects and, physical things that, provide evidence of something.
But as the rising cost of living puts pressure on farmers, picking up two metal rods to find a resource as precious as water remains an attractive option.
I think there's a lot of electronic gadgets out now that can send signals down and they give it a reading, and never looked into that. So I always trusted the old bent bit of steel, almost free.